We all know that kitchens are the heart of a home. It's where we gather for snacks from the fridge, family debates, and maybe a little gossip. Today, we're visiting two modern but retro-styled kitchens that invite entertaining and make us smile. Tim Glennon and Ken Brome from New York have created a retro-style kitchen that will transport you back in time with its lighthearted take on a classic kitchen theme.
Basically, Elmira Stoveworks takes name brand, very high-end appliances and puts their look to them. The thing that's really cool about it is it looks very old, but it's totally state-of-the-art. It's digital. We have automatic water dispenser. The design grew organically. Once we knew what color we wanted and we went with the mint green, then it was about kind of matching to that palette.
I thought of primary colors in Alexander Calder. The countertops were definitely going to be that candy apple red with that little bit of sparkle that the quartz gives off.
Ken always wanted to have an island that had a boomerang shape. I mean, boomerangs are, one of the iconic shapes of the 50s. And then ultimately we decided that we wanted to use tile on the space between the countertops and the cabinets. And we both concurred that it was this mirrored tile with a slight tint of green that would work best.
The rounded corners were originally part of the kitchen over the stove, so we incorporated that. It would give us plenty of room for all the collectibles that I've been collecting over the years. This is only a small part of it. I actually had to tone it down a little bit.
It's just a nice place to come home to. We have a sign over the door going into the living room that says "Weekend Getaway," and it's kind of the way we feel about the kitchen.
Robin Roche and her husband Daniel fell in love with a genuine vintage stove and built a retro-style kitchen around it.
This is my pride and joy, I must say. This is a Chambers 1954 stove. It was really the top-of-the-line stove at the time, and we really used it as our inspiration for the whole kitchen. The basis is 1930s, the color scheme is 1930s, but then it's all the different eras and all the things I love from the different eras. It took us 4.5 years to renovate it ourselves. We would just take time off of work and spend a week here, a week there, and we had temporary cabinets that we would move around. And actually, that's how we stumbled upon the perfect work triangle for us. Certain things are not very expensive at all. We just got resourceful. Like, for example, we have a pot rack made out of pipe. When we started with our kitchen, it had a drop ceiling, it had a terrible color scheme that was kind of a poisonous green and a raspberry color. So we took it all the way down to the studs. There is a section where we were able to save the original tin. We have an open pantry, and I found actually candle jars worked really well to put the spices in because they were big enough, but they could seal. When I go grocery shopping, I just walk in there and I see exactly what I have. When it came to lighting, we do have one salvage piece that we got from a church. I actually spray painted it red and mixed it with a downrod from Rejuvenation. We used IKEA cabinets. In spaces where there wasn't deep counter space, we actually used wall cabinets on the floor. And then when we had openings where the cabinets were not big enough to bridge an opening, we would do things like we have a space to put our towels. When it came time to doing the countertop, IKEA had something that was very retro but also very clean, but we were going to have a seam. So we came up with a cutting board that we put in the area where there would have been a seam. I felt that if we're going to have a period-inspired kitchen, then we should have a flooring that would be typical of the era. It's a red floor. It's actually just PVC flooring. It's very inexpensive. It made it have that 1940s, 50s feel.
Retro is a great choice for DIYers because the cheerful color schemes and sleek finishes are still available in most home centers today. It's warm, welcoming, and great for entertaining.